You're not the only one who thinks that that's absolutely disgusting that I do that. I've had that criticism quite a bit from people in my personal life because I fucking love milk. I love milk. I'll drink a whole glass of raw milk by itself, whole milk, whatever. I love milk. And I don't want a tea that I can't put milk and honey in. That is kind of my thing, is milk and honey in tea. I do milk and honey in my coffee. I just really like milk and honey. Some people have joked that it's like what is it, femme fatale, or like because like there's this joke that serial killers drink glasses of milk and things like that, and I have this interest and this dark persona of some kind, so I think it's very fitting for my lore and my self-expression, but I genuinely fucking love it. I don't know. Like I'll drink green tea every now and then. Like there are like some teas that they do not fucking go good with milk. I understand it. I've been there, I've tried it. But I kind of just under the impression that like if I can't do that, then I don't want it. Oh, so are we recording? Okay, so here we are. There's the milk. There's the tea with the honey in there. So the water dissolves it nice. It seeps with the tea. Boop, boop. And then, oop, fuck. That was an uneven surface. Damn it. So yeah, so then that'll steep for about 10 minutes. And then I'll pour it into my... This is my infamous tea mug. Love it. So yeah, cheers. And just for fun, see, like this is just, it's perfect color. The camera's not really showing it that good. It looks whiter in the camera, but it's just a really nice, soft, like tan beige. It's beautiful, perfect. And a special loving shout out to Todd from Todd's Eclipse Alchemy, my tea guy who sent me this blend. This was my last step into fall bag that I have for this month, for this cycle. But until then, cheers. Milk and honey, baby. All right. So it got me thinking, and I'm doing this in real time because I have not looked this up before. So I knew that it was an English thing. I had a English woman as my French teacher, Madame Goff. So I do understand. I knew it was like an English thing that came from the English's time in India. There's Asian roots to it, and it says, began with the Mongolians adding butter and curd to tea. And then, the British, when they encountered milk tea during their time in India. So that's fun. But ancient uses, the Greeks and Romans drank milk mixed with honey. There's a lot of milk and honey in the Bible, just sweetening up tea. But I was trying to figure it out. I was trying to figure out what the connection was. So that's the history of it. So I'm not a weirdo. It's in culture. But it's not normalized in American culture. I do understand that. I understand certain aspects of people. It's alienating, right? Because I see shit online all the time, like debates, memes, whatever else. Because I have like European friends. So yeah, anyway, there's something comforting about it for me. I did not follow culture or whatever. I've had a variety of teas, but I'm trying to think when I started doing it. I did, fun fact. When I was doing home care in Detroit and Hamtramck, I had, I don't know I can't remember what country they were from. Middle Eastern family. They made me, I don't know if that's even accurate. I don't want to offend anybody or them because I can't remember. But they would make me tea. It was this like milky chamomile tea. I loved it. Because I wasn't really a tea person. It was coffee, water, and that was about it. And then anyway, to make a long story even longer, I had that for the first time and I just absolutely fell in love with it. And then when I started getting into like tea practices for sleep, because that was part of like the me healing my PTSD and not sleeping and all of this other stuff, is it was, so I would smoke and then I would garden. I would garden and then I would make tea, and then I would have drink the tea, have a meditation with music playing. It was very elaborate nighttime ritual, and I would put milk and honey in my tea, and it was because of the chamomile milk tea that family made me. That's the origin of it, and it is Asian Indian tradition. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, anyway, that's like how I got started with it. It just like I wanted to try to copy that, but I didn't know how to or mimic it. It hurt, like the English, like those families tried giving me recipes every time I asked. Like they were very welcoming and sharing. It was not the same. It was never the same when I tried to like replicate the recipe. I always loved when they like how they made it and how they served it to me was just always such a divine experience. But they gave me the recipe and I tried replicating it. I don't really like saying copying it, but I was copying it, replicating it for myself. And then through that, I was able to find my own like way of creating and flavoring. So I have a variety of different combinations. Todd has been wonderful at listening to my palate and what it is that I like through all my trial and error. And he's curated me some special blends that are very much in alignment with Sarah, with me, my palate. I really fucking love like the teas that he's made me. With me in mind, or just with relative essences in mind, I should say. So anyway, that's like how that like whole ritual started, and now like I've just become such a tea person. But that's also how I've learned that not every tea is good with milk and honey, and I kind of don't. Again, I don't want it. If I can't add milk and honey to it, I don't want it. But I do think that that's fun, because I really didn't fully connect all those dots until, like honestly, just now. I just knew it reminded, because I wanted it to give me the same sense of security and peace and love that my coffee gave me. And my coffee I put milk and honey in my coffee. Especially like the honey came from me substituting sugar. But I asked my husband, I put like a decent amount of fucking sugar in my coffee, which is a sin, blasphemy to a lot of other people. I don't care. But so I had like a morning ritual, and I really wanted my nighttime ritual to mirror my morning ritual with that same cozy feeling, and it took a lot of trial and error to get there. So that is the story. That is the story behind the milk and the honey, and there is ritualistic implement. I knew there's like history with milk and honey, like in magic. I'm not saying I haven't used milk and honey in magic like consciously, but certain things I just, I wasn't doing it for magical purposes unless I was doing it for magical purposes. But then I think that's where like everything you do is magic. Intuition is everywhere. All those kinds of wisdoms and realizations that you have. And cue phone call to get me to stop rambling. Yeah, the conclusion of all of that is the path that I went down to groundedly, logically heal myself through practices, like holistic practices, tea, meditation, all of these other things, then led me to magic. And through that journey, I found the bridge and the necessity for both. There is a grounded science to magic that I believe, or just not just magic, but like spirit, the divine, God, the universe, whatever. There is this soul spiritual connection that is necessary within the human experience and within society. And science and society needs to acknowledge that more. I think that there are obviously people out there who do. That's why there's all these big movements going. but I think it needs to be louder, and a more accepted practice within the species as a whole.